Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and for those who don't know me, my name is Matt Nav and I love trains.
I like trains.
Especially high-speed ones. Having been to over 50 countries around the world, I realised and I've noticed how different countries actually work their networks very differently to others. And before we start, no, the UK and the US aren't on this list because HS1 is only used by Eurostar to its full potential, and in the US, Acela, it doesn't really count because you can't put a Greyhound on a snail trail and expect it to be able to run full speed. As for Germany, well, the ICE trains are technically high speed, but good luck trying to find one that runs on time or even gets cancelled on the day of. Without further ado, let's get started. Today I'll be comparing 5 major high-speed rail networks around the world, and along the way we'll be seeing how they mostly follow 3 main variants of the high-speed rail network design, whether it's hub and spoke, linear corridors, or railway interstate highways. Starting things off with France and Spain, as both operate a classic hub and spoke system where everything radiates out from their capital cities. In the case of France, that's Paris. This means that if I want to go from Lyon to Bordeaux or from Lille to Nice, I have to transfer in Paris, and not just that, I also have to go through from one side of the city to the other. And this is all thanks to the country's not so great spider network layouts. Spain works similarly with Madrid at its centre, but to its credit, the country does offer more point-to-point connections that avoid the capital city altogether. For example, you can go from Barcelona to Malaga, though I do find their use of airport-style security a bit tedious because it's just security theatre in my opinion. However, I will appreciate the fact that both countries are becoming leaders in high-speed rail liberalisation, with Spain opening up its market to operators like Renfe, Ireo, Avlo and Ouigo, and France finally opening up to operators like Italia's Frecciarossa brand entering on the domestic market with access to major corridors from Paris to Lyon and Paris to Marseille. Now let's look at Italy and Japan. These are known as linear networks, which basically means that they are one major corridor with high frequencies, plus other branches that trail off to other regions. In Italy, that's the Turin to Naples route with stops in major cities such as Milan, Florence, Bologna and Rome. These trains are run by the duopoly of Trenitalia and Italo. Both are fast, clean and surprisingly affordable. There are other spurs that connect to other parts of the country using conventional lines, such as Venice and further south to Bari, but these don't offer the same speed as the main trunk corridor. Conversely, in Japan, a country famous for its iconic bullet trains that kick-started the high-speed revolution and are known for being punctual to the second, the primary Shinkansen lines form one big trunk route running across the length of the country, from as far north as Hokkaido all the way down to Kyushu, with Tokyo Station acting as the primary node for all lines converging together. A trip across the country from, say, Hiroshima to Shin Hakodate Kokoto means booking with several Shinkansen operators and changing trains in Tokyo. But the upshot of it is that there is so much frequency on the trains, it's almost like a metro, in the sense that between the major cities such as Tokyo to Osaka, you could be looking at a train every 5-10 minutes, and you just turn up and you wouldn't even have to look at the timetable, you just turn up and go. The one downside of Japan's incredible network is that it can be a bit pricey even for tourists, but despite that, I still say it's an absolutely wonderful way to get around the country. And then there's China, who has essentially built a high-speed rail version of the American interstate highway system, the scale of which is unmatched. It's absolutely massive, it's direct, it connects to multiple nodes around the country to every major city and every major population centre. You want to go from Shanghai to Beijing? Sure. Beijing to Kunming? Yeah, you can, but you can even go on a high-speed sleeper service that lets you doze off and wake up at the other side of the country, whilst covering the equivalent of the distance of Boston to Miami in the US or London to Bulgaria in a single night. Sorry, California Zephyr and Caledonian Sleeper, but in this case, China wins and the sleeper train top trumps. Of course, there is the downside that a lot of the major Chinese stations are outside the city centres, and they're similar to airports such as Shanghai's Hongqiao station. Without a doubt, the biggest station I've ever been to in my life. Nothing like the stations I'm used to over in like the UK or France or Germany or any of that. It's pretty crazy because the tickets, so you don't actually have a ticket on your phone or like a physical one. It actually is tied to your passport. For the price I paid, it was like £18 return. Bargain. So which one wins? Well, I have to give one little nod to France because, I mean, I've lived in this country for 20 years and I'm going to be a little bit biased and a little bit patriotic, of course, yeah, the TGV has been able to allow me to explore the length and breadth of this country. Sure, it has its flaws. I mean, SNCF Connect's website is terrible and the spiderweb network means I have to go through Paris most of the time. Otherwise, I also have to give my other nod to China because they've really shown the world how it's done and just developed an absolutely massive network that's both affordable, comfortable, fast, and just innovative, like high-speed sleeper trains. Who'd have thought of that? Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.